All right. Good morning, everyone. As always, everyone have an amazing day. 3 things I am thankful for: lenses, world peace, putting it out there, joy, and I'm gonna throw another one: happiness. Okay. I know you're like, but joy and happiness is the same. It's a little bit different, but it's like they close cousins. But it's like that. So, after I did my last video, I acknowledged something. See, I learn as I talk as well. And I noticed something that I stated. Nothing's wrong. I just want to clarify so we can be on the same page. So, when I talk about that I have both personalities, right? And when I talk about how you have to be authentic, I need y'all to understand something. Because I feel like people I'm kind of confused. How can I have both personalities and not straddle the fence? Okay? How is that possible? And so that's what made me think about something I stated in the last video. So in the last video, I stated how this person did something in a way where they want to basically see for themselves if it's real. And the other part of, just in case it ain't real, I have something to still respond to. And I'm going to say this. Both parts of that scenario is still valid. It's still valid. But the thing about it is, even though a person may feel 2 separate things at the same time, you still need to choose which direction you're going to go on. That process. You have to get to a point where you can't sit back and wait for someone to choose for you. See, that's the thing in this world. When we make moves in the world, we walk in the door with 2 personalities, 2 ways, right? Either something good going to happen or something bad going to happen. And when we walk in the door, it's like, I'm going to be prepared just in case. Well, you got to remember, when you go into that mind frame of just in case, now you giving the universe the permission to play mind tricks on you. Okay? Because you didn't make a choice. So the energy you put out is play a game. 'Cause I'm playing a game, the world gonna play a game on me. That's how it goes. You have to be confident in what your decision is before you make the move. Don't get me wrong. You can think, you can play back and forth. It's no different than a child meeting a new friend, going on a blind date, what else? Starting a new job, going for an interview. You understand? You have to get to a point that you know what you're going to do. So say, for example, for a kid, maybe you're not sure if you want to talk to a person, okay? And maybe you're like, okay, I see this little girl, this little boy over here, and I want to be friends with them. I see that they look different than me, and they act different than me. So, they sound like me, but they look different. So you going into that mindset of, all right, I'm afraid because they look different, but I'm at peace because they sound just like me. But sometimes in that position, now you're stuck. Now you're stuck and you're waiting. Now you're going to wait for that person to come to you because you need them to decide if they okay with the decisions that you came up with. That's how life goes. Sometimes you got to decide like, hey, I know they look different, but they sound, got similarities. I'm going to just go for it and look for the best out of it. We sounded like, I'm going to choose that option and I'm going to run with it. Now, when the child gets to that person or that other child, that child can decide from that the next step. By now, okay, I was authentic in how I felt because I'm entitled to be able to decide. I made a decision and I'm talking to this person. Now, when that person talking, I can still look at them that they do look different, but they still have the same similarities of me. I'm going to be myself. Okay, so you choose it. I'm going to be myself because I made a decision. Now this person is talking to me and I was right. Everything lined up with what I stated. Now, there's another part to this. So what if you did that and the person is not who you thought? You're still happy with the decision because you know the truth. because you walked in truth of who you are and you know the truth of who they are. So maybe even though they look different but they sound the same, it didn't add up like you thought it was. Now you can walk away knowing that you gave your all at the beginning. Okay, let's go back again. You see this child. The child up here looks different but sound the same. Now you say they look different and you don't want to go because even though they sound alike, it don't look right. Now you stuck. You don't approach that person. Now you got in your head later on in your head, but what if I would have and I should have and I could have? Now you seeing this person walking around and now they got a bunch of other friends and everybody talking to them, even your friends talking to them. But you still sitting back, I don't know. Because now you waiting because your friends went to them. You hoping your friends call you over so they can make the decision for you. That's straddling the fence. No matter what side you choose, right? You got to make the decision. So you're going to have thoughts of negativity sometimes, or fears, or scared. And you're going to have thoughts of happiness and joy and growth. But if you walk into something and you waiting for that person to make the decision, so let's go to the next one. Now you walk to this person and now you go to there's another part. So you go to this person and you're scared. You're not sure if you like them or not. Now those words get confused. Now when that person is talking, now you're back and forth and saying what they say don't sound like what they look like, and what they look like don't sound what they say like. And before you know it, you already confused yourself because you're trying to match the two. The outer is always different than the inner until someone make a choice. So you're not going to be understanding of if that person is a true friend or an enemy. You're not going to know if they really genuine with what they saying or not because you're not genuine with what you're doing. That part. So I need y'all to understand, if you can't be direct and knowing who you are and making the decisions on your own, you always going to think people lying to you, but you only lying to yourself because you want them to choose. And then when they make the choice, you mad with the decision because now they the ones have the control of what you believe in. But when you believe in yourself and you know who you are, you can make the choices and then be able to accept the outcomes that happen. So what happens is this. In life, we make decisions that sometimes going to be for our better good, and sometimes it's going to be a lesson for us to be able to be better so we can be good to ourselves. I'm not saying that you can't understand both sides of you, and I'm not saying you can't walk through a door not understanding, but you're going to have to choose for yourself because this is your road and your journey. If you're not choosing, someone else going to choose for you. And then guess what? Now you stuck with the mind that you have. And now you're trying to gain the game back of what you was playing. So I need y'all to understand something. Everyone in the world have choice. And you have different personalities and energies. But you're going to have to make the decision. Because the life that you live is only going to be as good as you want it to be. When you make those decisions, now you feel good about everything that you do forward. Because you know that long you was authentic in what you was doing, because you came up with the conclusion of what you wanted. If something doesn't go out the way you want it to be, you know it was a lesson. You're not going to allow your life to be stressed out. So what if that person later on down the lane be hateful towards you? What if that person down the lane disrespect you? What if that person down the lane talk about you to people? Why you mad? Because you was being authentic. They the ones that got the problem because they didn't make the decision on their own. So always remember, you can't get mad at people when you making your own choices. But at the end of the day, when they decide to look at you sideways or the decision or the things in life don't go the way that they want it to go, don't get mad because someone chose for you. So all I'm saying is being authentic is acknowledging that yes, I might be afraid. I might have fear or scared or unsure, nervous or unaware, don't have enough knowledge of what's going on. Maybe I can't even see what's going on. Everybody go through that. Okay? You should have heard me yesterday When the lady at the call to tell me the woman was coming, I didn't call to call the taxi cab right then and there to say, hey, don't pick me up. I waited till I saw her to know for sure she was going to pick me up. Because at the end of the day, you have a choice. So I'm not going to stop my plans because you don't know if you're going to do what you say you're going to do. I'm going to continue keeping my plans in place because I made a decision. I'm going to get to where I'm going no matter what. And if you decide to come along and you choose to make sure you do that, then guess what? I can turn something off to go to the next choice. You understand? That's how life goes. Always be confident in what you do. And when you're confident in what you do, you don't need validation for anyone else because you are validated yourself. Okay? When you validate yourself, you don't need to ask anybody else, hey, can you park there? On that note, you have a blessed day.